Everyone, every single one of us are born into something, into some sort of a story, environment, circumstances. Now, I was born in a kind of a chaos of unfair world, and that mindset followed me and created this rebellious spirit in me for a long time. And I'm not saying rebellious spirit is bad, it's natural for us. For children, it's natural. But what I mean is that it created a survival state in me as well. And that became my nervous system response to outer or internal triggers. Now, we can say that, okay, there is a lot of survival in this world, and there is a lot of need of being careful and protective. But I would say that your peace and stillness in the moments of the turbulence is your protection mechanism, the best of the best, being in a position of an observer. And all this journey, everything contributed to who I am today. And I want to share with you how I got from where I was. I had addictions, I've been suicidal, I was involved in crime, I had problems with aggression, I had problems with being able to communicate with people without ill will. And the change happened for me in two big moments. So one was when I realized that I am much more than the people around me said. And the second moment was when I got into a car crash. The car crash was existential calling for me. I realized that I am not my thoughts or emotions. I am an observer that has an experience. And over time I realized that that's not even that I am the experience itself in the present moment. And this journey was on and off with different challenges, with different circumstances that allowed me to reflect on myself, on who I am and who I were, and why my thoughts were the way they were, right? So I want you to know that there are a few fundamental steps in rewiring your identity and your nervous system response, and basically who you are and why you think you are the way you are. So first one is very deep self-honesty. Like, it's about questioning everything about yourself. It's not about disrespect, it's not about not trusting yourself. It's about questioning everything that comes into your mind and into your body. Why I'm thinking these thoughts, why I am feeling this feeling, where it's coming from. What does it bring to my life and to the lives of those I affect? And this cycle of questions and observations, depending on the situation, the experience you are having, will lead to this spherical bubble of knowledge that will bring you rational understanding on the origins of these thoughts and emotions in you. That will help you to do a transformation and even detach from certain habits, values, beliefs without the need to kind of fit something new in it. Because many things that, like, addictions, for example, they kind of tend to lean towards replacement. And when we realize why we doing what we're doing, like why we smoking, why we doing certain drugs, why we having drinks, and we start resolving that emotional state that we are seeking through substance abuse, we get into a position, I could say a superposition. In quantum science, that's a fundamental keyword or that defines the wave and particle state. Now, this is about our mind, and that's equally the same because that operates on the same field. And I want you to understand that flipping addiction from one place to another place is a temporary relief. I want you to understand that any habit, any belief you shifting from one place to another is a temporary relief. What you need to do is you need to be very, very self-honest on why you seek and why you project that into your reality. Now, the second part is being able and willing to communicate through that. So if you don't have anyone, then write, okay, journal it, but the main thing is that you need to communicate it through. So it helps you to factualize that. It helps you to build a foundation of understanding that is not like liquid. It gets a fundamental in you, because this natural processing of why you are the way you are is expressed through something, right? So if you only internalize, especially in the beginning of your journey, later on it's not that necessary because it becomes like easy flips inside of you. But in the beginning or in the middle of your journey, let's say, you are still having these big ups and downs and the cycles are reappearing in your life, you need to communicate through, okay? You need to communicate through and allow yourself to build and clarify that spherical bubble of the knowledge around the belief, the habit, or a perspective you're having, right? Now, the third part is you need to give yourself specific emotions, and I will name 3 emotions that are essence of our well-being, of our joy and transformation. So these 3 emotions are very, very simple, but for some people that might have a struggle to really feel them, not just intellectualize about them. Acceptance. Accepting yourself and everything around you as it is, without any judgment and without any need to change it. Now, this is very important because you give yourself this state of peace and stillness where like, okay, now everything is as it is. And from there, when you feel like you understand that it is what it is, then you start projecting the change, the new creation. Second emotion is forgiveness. Forgiveness to yourself and forgiveness to others, world, existential parts, whatever layers of existence you have. Forgiveness for yourself and for everything around you. Now, the third one is very well praised. It's so popular right now that sometimes it feels that it's losing this vitality in life because people using it for a will of receiving, which is not how that emotion works. In order to have self-awareness, you have to become very self-honest. That, okay, there is a thing, that there is a response, there is this internal belief, this internally arising reaction that creates that problem, that consequence of its presence. And if you can be aware of it, you can change it. As long as you are aware of it, as long as you keep getting your attention back, as long as you giving yourself space to breathe, you will be alright. And you're always alright. Look how far you came, how much you did, and how many things have changed. Yes, there might be things that, following for decades. But isn't that an opportunity? Isn't that an opportunity to change and lead by example? For yourself, for the sake of yourself, for the sake of a better world in every step we take. For the sake of goodwill. For the sake of love and peace. Isn't that worthy of the change? I stand for it being worthy because we are.